All right, look like we're alive. Look like we're alive. Hopefully everything is good. I'm gonna try to be live maybe for about 45 minutes, maybe an hour. Not gonna be on here too long. I want to talk about this Xbox 360 recompilation. What does this mean? What does this tool mean? And why it's available and what does it do? So I'm gonna talk about that, give my thoughts and opinions, and where I think all this could go sometime down the line. I think this is something that's it's a really big deal, and I love the fact that it's actually a thing. I really love the fact that this is a thing where basically the long story short, what it does is it will take a 360 game. You could put it on your, let's say for instance, you could put it on a PC and it will be an actual executable and it will run on your PC just like anything else. So I want to talk about that. I'm going to go through this article as well where we talk about that and what does it do. Like I said, I think it's a really big deal that you could take some games that was from the 360 and put them on your PC in this fashion. What's going on, Sweet Jones? How you doing? Hopefully you're doing good. Hopefully everything is well. Today has been a really good day for me. Actually, everything has been going. I'm gonna take this thing off. This thing gets on my nerves. I'm not gonna be playing any games today. I'll probably be going live. I'm gonna play some games tomorrow, but I just want to talk about this Xbox 360 recompilation. I want to talk about that because I think this is a really big deal when it comes to preservation and PC gaming. So I'll probably be playing some games. I'm gonna go back to playing Doom 3 tomorrow, or I may play some Rogue Flight. It just depends on how I feel once I get off work. I'm gonna play one of those games, but no games tonight. I'm gonna probably be on for like another 45 minutes or whatever. But we're gonna talk about this whole situation where it comes to this recompilation, and I'm really interested in this. Even though I'm not really a big fan of like not playing games on native hardware, like I'd rather play my 360 games on a 360. But the fact that this is a thing, I think this is really cool. So I'm going to talk about that, give my thoughts and opinions on it, and what does it mean going forward. So basically the 360 was, well, I ain't going to say the 360. The game Sonic Unleashed, a lot of people wanted that game on PC. That game has not been released on PC. So what some people did, they basically went behind the scenes and tried to find a way to get this game to play on their PC. So I guess they was using the 360 emulator. I don't know the whole story behind it. I guess they was using that or whatever. But they found out how to reverse engineer the game to play on the PC. And come to find out, this opened the floodgates for all 360 games. So any Xbox 360 game could basically be converted to an executable to run on your PC. So I'm going to pull this up and we're going to talk about this. New Xbox 360 recompilation tool gives lost classics another chance to shine. So basically what it started, let's see if I can blow this up a little bit so you guys can see this. All right, that's perfect. So it says the recently released Xenon Recomp tool has already given us a PC port of Sonic Unleashed. Like this tool gave people the means to play Sonic Unleashed on their PC natively. This is not like a emulator or whatever or anything like that. It's basically made the game. It codes the game to a platform that it basically uses as an executable. If you don't know what an executable is, it's basically anything that you click on your PC to run. Like say if you want to run Google Chrome, that is an executable to get it to run. Whatever you're clicking, it has to go through an exe file, which is an executable. So it's basically any type of app that will run. So it says it says right here, it converts a 360 executable in C++ code. I guess I said that right, which then can be recompiled to any platform. So I guess it can go to more things than PC, which I think is interesting, but I think that's basically what it is. God ain't Pirate Nation on Twitter or X. You kind of know where this is going. Said tool for recompiling 360 games, native executables on PC, released on GitHub. You can now recompile any Xbox 360 game to a PC port. So basically, any game that you want that's on the 360 can be moved over to the PC as a legitimate PC port. And that's pretty interesting how it kind of just showed you how close the Xbox 360 was close to a PC. And I think this is one of the reasons why Xbox 360 games ran so well in general, because it was basically like a PC. And I think that's basically what all the Xboxes are at this moment. You know, they're basically PCs in a consoleized form. So there are over 500 delisted Xbox 360 games, like from the Xbox 360 store. You know, that store is gone, but there's over 500 games that's delisted. And then that will give people a chance to turn these games into PC ports. So these are games that's not going to be necessarily just an Xbox 360 game running on PC. These are games that's going to turn into a port that should be on PC. Kind of make you think like how many games they could actually move over to the PC if they wanted to. Now, you know, they have licensing issues, all these other things why they probably didn't do it. But this is another reason why a lot of games that for the 360 was able to move over to the Xbox Series, because a lot of these games are the way they're formatted or the way they're recompiled are very easily moved over to the next generation. I think like right now, there's like over 600 games that are 360 games that could play on the Xbox Series. So that's pretty cool. So there are a lot of games on here, personally, that I would like to see get a re-release, but they're not. And you're basically delisted on the Xbox 360 platform when it comes to the store. Afterburner Climax, Daytona USA, these all again, and this is not all of them, but these are some notables. Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Guardian Heroes, Outrun Online, Sonic the Fighters, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Reshelled, the Simpsons arcade game, probably the X-Men game. I think another one, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 was another one. There's a few other games that was delisted over there. And I got the list over here. I'll pull that up in a little bit so we can see which ones that are actually out there. And a lot of these games are just digital only, so therefore these games aren't necessarily available on the 360, or some of them just been delisted altogether. Now, as far as some of these games like Daytona USA, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Sonic the Fighters, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Reshelled, and the Simpsons arcade game, I have those games pretty much on my PS3. So for me, I'm not really too big on trying to get these games over, but the fact that you could possibly or pretty much would be able to play these games on your PC, probably at a very high frame rate and probably at 4K or whatever, really makes it think like, okay, this is a really big deal when it comes to actually putting these games together and put them on your PC. I think the only big thing about this for me would be actually putting them out there and Xbox getting a hold of this and be like, hey, we want you to stop doing this. Xbox could come in and be like Nintendo and be like, yo, you do this, we're coming with some lawsuits. So I don't know how Xbox feel about that. I know when it came to like piracy and some other things, Xbox has been fairly lenient on that type of stuff. They don't necessarily be as aggressive as Nintendo. Like, for instance, when the original Xbox was jailbroken, I don't think they did anything about that. They just let it ride. I think they did more with the 360. They had some more measures with the JTAG thing and all that. And then the Xbox One and beyond, I think those consoles are basically unhackable or they can't be jailbroken. So I haven't heard anything about that, but you could get all these games possibly, and I think they more likely will, because these people, when they get into stuff like this, they find a way to do it. You can get native PC versions of all these games. I forgot all about Soul Calibur 2 HD Online. Guardian Heroes, which is an excellent game that came out on the Saturn. Daytona USA, you should know about that game. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. As well as delisted games, this tool also opened up a chance for unreleased games, as the famous XBLA port of GoldenEye 007 could be natively released. That would be pretty cool. That's pretty much it for this article, but this is what I think. Because they wanted a Sonic Unleashed or the PC port so bad, they ended up, open up the floodgates for all this other stuff. I think this is going to be a thing for a while. I think they're going to be able to do this and actually have a lot of games recompiled, and you'll be able to play a lot of this stuff on your PC. I think that's a really big deal. And let me see if I can flip this over. If I can get this. All right, stop sharing that. I want to see if I can pull this other thing up and show you guys. My son is playing Donkey Kong. What game are you playing? Tropical Freeze on your Switch? Yeah, he loves that game. Oh my God, he loves that game. All right, let's see. I think this is it right here. I don't know if I can get this one to blow up. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Awesome. Okay, these are all the games that was on the 360 that were delisted. I think I'm gonna let me do this. All right, that's a little bit better. These are all the games that basically been delisted from the 360 store. So all of these games could possibly be recompiled and be put on PC as a straight out executable. Let's see if there's some of these that stand out. Some of these don't stand out because to me, some of them won't stand out because they are available on the next generation. But some of these don't have physical copies. So if you see on the screen right here, I put the where you can see the ones that don't have physical copies. So this is something that could be a thing where people would be more likely to recompile those because they don't have a physical copy. Son, sit over there. What are you doing? I'm just doing it. Yeah, you silly boy. Yeah. Let's see. As I see here, Amy is a game that should be. I'm surprised this game is like not available anymore. It doesn't have a physical copy. It was delisted, and it's not available for the following generation. So that one right there is basically one that would stand out. Assault Heroes is another one that I know of. I don't know much about Arcadian Warriors. You can play Awesome Not Somewhere. Backbreaker Vengeance, which I love football games, but Backbreaker Vengeance is basically a game that's, let's say, it's not a full football game. It's like a demo for Backbreaker 2, in my opinion. Let's see. I don't want to go. I'll go through all these games. I'm just going to go through ones that may stick out. Bullet Soul and Bullet Soul Infinite Burst, you could play those in other ways. So, but it would be nice to have that on your PC. Burnout Crash is not a really good game, but I could see that. Caladeris, I think I said that right. Caladeris, that is a really good game, but they came out with another version, a Blaze version for that. Let's see. Constant C, Darkstalkers Resurrection. That's a game that people, I can see that being recompiled like easily. Darkstalkers Resurrection is going to be recompiled. I definitely see that. What's up, Sir Bishop? How you doing? Let's see. Death Smiles 2X. That's already been re-released, I think. Let me see. Double Dragon 2, maybe. Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, you can still play that. Echo the Dolphin. Yep. Fez. Fire Pro Wrestling. That's probably gonna be recompiled. I can see that. What is this? Oh my goodness. Fist of the North Star, Ken Rage. That is something else that could probably be recompiled. Okay, since you came here late, I'm gonna let you know what this means. Let me back up out of here. Before I finish with this. Let me back up a little bit. Okay, Xbox 360 recompilation is basically games that are on the 360 that are being reconfigured to play on your PC. And it's not through emulation. It's basically taking the game and configuring it to executable to be a PC port. So I'm going to show you this right here. Let me show you this right here. Let me pull this screen up. Where is it? Yeah, this one right here. Okay, so this tool basically gives gamers, or it gives people who wants to move games to the PC a chance to move games to PC. Okay, this Xenon Recomp, which you see like right here on the screen, Recomp, they use that to move Sonic Unleashed to the PC, because Sonic Unleashed has not been released to the PC, and people have been wanting it. So what a group of people did, or could have been one person, they took Sonic Unleashed and put it on the PC using this tool. And basically what it did was it took the 360 game, the Xbox 360 game, and configured the files to run on PC. So this is not something that you would take a 360 game and just put it through a 360 emulator and it will run on your PC. No, they're taking the files and turning it to a PC game, basically. So when they did Sonic Unleashed, they realized, hey, not only we could do Sonic Unleashed, we could do other games as well. So now, basically, it says it right here. Xenon Recomp converts 360 executables, which is Xbox 360 games, into C++ code, which then can be recompiled to any platform. So we're probably not just talking about PC. We're probably talking about putting a 360 game on pretty much anything that can run it. Long as it can, you can click on it and you open it up, it'll run to play on anything. So if it can run on any platform, if you have a powerful enough phone or a powerful enough tablet, you could probably get this game to run on your tablet. How well it will run, well, it just depends on how powerful your tablet or your phone is. Now for your PC, you can have a basic, mid-range PC, and you should be able to run these games. And not only, so it should not be a problem. So basically, there are 500 there are over 500 delisted games that was on the Xbox 360 store. So you kind of know where I'm going with this. The Xbox 360 store has games that are delisted. Some people could pull those games and turn them into PC ports and actually be able to play those games again, not only just on, the PC, but any other platform. And with it being on the PC, they'll be able to run better than they did on the 360. So with that being said, we're looking at a situation where a lot of games, where you came in at, a lot of games that are out here that are just delisted, that are not on the 360 store anymore because the 360 store is gone. Now you can find a lot of games that you may want to play on PC. Fist of the North Star, this is the game right here. Ken Rage 2. This game doesn't have a PC port. I don't think it does. But you can play it on your PC now if you can recompile the files. What are other games that are out here? Gianna Sisters Twisted Dreams, an excellent platformer. I have this game on my Wii U, but it's a great game. Would love to see that get a port. Halo Waypoint. I don't know much about that. Is that a Halo game? I never heard of that. But that's the game that could get a PC port. Let's see. Home Run Stars. That's an okay game. I think Life is Strange is already on PC. Legendary a K Anniversary. It's another pretty cool 3D platformer. I got that on a Wii U. It's a pretty cool game. I don't think that has a PC port. I could be wrong. It may do. It may do. Let me see. Mighty Number 9. I think that has a PC port. Mortal Kombat Arcade. Now this game has been delisted off the 360, and I think it's been delisted off of PC as well. So that could be one. Pinball. I think Pinball FX2 is one. You know, Raystorm HD. I think that has a PC port. All the Resident Evils. Renegade Ops. Now look, listen. This game does not need a PC port. This game is on the PC, is on Steam, but this is a game that you need to get. Renegade Ops is an excellent game. I really like it. I may even stream that game one day. That game is really, really good. Renegade Ops is highly underrated. Let's see. Anything else? Yeah, Halo Waypoint is. I never really heard of it or thought about it. To be honest, I never really played it, but that could get a PC port now. What's wrong? You only got 16 hits. Well, don't beat yourself up. It was silly. So, Russian Attack, Expatriate, Russian Attack. I can see those getting PC ports. Shooting Love. I think this already has. Let me look this up. Let me look on Steam right now. I don't think this has a PC port, but let me look. Will it pull up? Hold on one second. Is this thing working? Okay. No, because Shooting Love 20XX, 20X, 2000X. That doesn't have a PC port. That really needs one though. That's a really good game. Let's see. Star Raiders, I heard of that. Street Fighter 2, you can play Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting. Street Fighter 3 Online Edition. That you can play that already. Street Race 2, Strider. I think this has a PC port as well, Strider. I could be wrong, but I think it does. Dishwasher, both of these should get. I don't think these have PC ports. If they, let me look that up as well. Because a lot of people were telling me about the dishwasher, and they told me I need to get it on my 360 before the. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so that's a different version though. Vampire Smile. Yeah, that's a different version, I think. But yeah, but that could use one. Under Defeat HD. Now, this is a shame that this game does not have. This game has been delisted. I have the physical version of this game though, but the physical version is only on PS3. I think. I don't think they have a 360 version. I could be wrong, but I think it does. It says it doesn't have a physical copy. Let's see. I think that's it for the ones that don't have physical copies. Okay, so that's basically what it is. It's like, look, I think this is a really big deal to have some games that I feel that's probably going to end up getting PC ports because you know when people get a hold of stuff like this, they definitely try their best to exploit it. So it may be a point where it's out and about, and then it turns around and end up being a part of the dark web. And by then, you have to go through a lot of nefarious means to get some of these executables. It's probably going to happen in some point. As for me, I don't see myself necessarily using this. I may use it. I already have Sonic Unleashed on the PC. I already have it on my Xbox 360. I don't have any means to actually go out and do this, but I see where this could be very enticing for people to get some 360 games to actually be put on the PC. Now, this is not just for the games that's been delisted as well. People could just get some 360 games that they feel like just need to be on the PC, and they'll convert them to be PC ports. So, let me see. It's another game I want to look at real quick. I know Azura's Wrath. That's one game that I know that's on. That's a Capcom game that's basically out there that's not on PC. And there's a few other games. I can't. I mean, I start naming a bunch of stuff off the top of my head. I'll be here all day trying to figure it out. But I'm just thinking, just as a basic principle, I can see people doing this, and they're going to be getting a lot of their 360 games probably ported over to PC just to see how they run. I mean, like all my Xbox 360 games over there, I can imagine like what games they would try that are not on PC that would get a PC port. I just find it interesting that they would do that. But all in all, I think this is an amazing tool that seeing how technology works, how technology moves, and how people are able to find ways to get games to be preserved. Because if all this is the purposes, we don't know what's going to happen to Sonic Unleashed. I don't think that game was ever going to be put over the PC, and it made it happen. So it's a lot of these other games that are on here that, like I said, the game that I talked about in the beginning, the game Amy. Amy is a game that I find pretty interesting. That's not anywhere. I mean, it's a survival horror game that's basically not you can't play it anywhere else but an Xbox 360 or a PS3. Like I said, I have it on 360 because I bought it around the time where it was the store was closing and ended up buying it. But I don't know. Hey, my thing is a lot of people didn't like the game, but hey, it's out there. But at the end of the day, I think this kind of tech is really cool. I think it's something that really needs to be celebrated. I don't know how long it's going to be a thing, because at some point Xbox, Microsoft can get in the way and say, hey, we want y'all to stop this, cease and desist, and that's a wrap, But for me, if I really, really wanted to do this, if I really, really wanted to use this, what game I would really get, I would get Outrun Online. I am a big fan of the Outrun series. I think Outrun Online would be a game that I would do and find a way if you could play that online again by some means. And I'm pretty sure that they'll be able to do that some form of fashion, whether it be peer-to-peer or something like that, because they always find ways to do stuff like that. Like right now, you can play original Xbox games online again. You can even play PS2 games online right now. Now, to be honest with you, they even got the Dreamcast out now where you can play the Dreamcast games online now. So that's really, really cool. But there's a lot of games that are out here that are, basically lost on the not a PS3, but on the Xbox 360. And some of these games you may, want to try to put out there. Some of them you may not want to, but they're available, to be, they're able to be recompiled to be on PC. Onomatopoeia is excellent. It's another one. I think I said that right. No, I said Media is excellent. Ultimedia is excellent. I said that way wrong. But yeah, that's one. 99 Nights 2. I think that's on PC already. NCAA basketball. All those games, they don't necessarily have to be on an emulator. They will be absolutely be converted to a PC port. Wish you got the Dreamcast too. Yeah, I do too, but I feel that I already have the Dreamcast 2 within the original Xbox. That's just the way I feel about the original Xbox. I feel like the original Xbox is the Dreamcast 2. It's basically the same thing as the way it was put together and set up. Fun fact, I bet you didn't know this. The original Xbox was supposed to be at one point backwards compatible with the Dreamcast, but they decided not to do it at some point But there was talks of the original Xbox to be backwards compatible with the Dreamcast, which I thought that would have been absolutely amazing. Also, the Dreamcast actually had a version of Microsoft Windows on the on its actual system. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. All right, hold on one second. Okay, here it is right here. I'm gonna pull it up so you can see that. Now, I don't want you to think I'm just talking out of my, you know what. Let me move this out of the way. This is a terrible. Okay. Is he dead? I don't like this website. Let me see. Hold on. Hold on one second. Well, I guess I have to use this website. Okay. All right, here we go. I guess I'll use this website. Here we go. Sega pushed for the Dreamcast compatibility with the Xbox. The story goes that the Sega chairman, Isao Okawa, visited Microsoft to push his agenda. He wanted Dreamcast games to be compatible with the Microsoft then shiny new Xbox. The Xbox said it would be sort of an upgrade path for current Dreamcast owners. It will also be possibly help to save the dying console, but Microsoft didn't bite. Yeah, so it was a thing at one point that it was supposed to be backwards compatible with it. I wish I could find a better. See if I can find a better. Let me see if I can find it. I think that's the only website that had that. But I remember at one point they were talking about it, that it was supposed to be backwards compatible. It would have been great though. It would have been great if it would have. All right, let me see if I can find. I'm gonna keep looking and see if I can find a more definitive. Let me see. Xbox backwards. With the all right, let's see if I can find it. If I can find a better one, then we'll talk about it. But that's basically the gist of it. I remember them talking about that after the Xbox was released, and it was talks that they were supposed to happen, but Microsoft said no. What was the best? What was the console general? What console generation we say which was the best? Oh, the sixth generation. Sixth generation, maybe the seventh, but I would say the sixth generation. The reason why I say the sixth generation because the sixth generation had much more leeway to make games. They were more creative. A lot of games ran pretty well, even though a lot of games was 480i, 480p. But you had a lot of games that was at 60 frames per second. You had a lot of games that was basically innovative. And a lot of games just basically worked. Like once you got into the seventh generation, you started getting games that needed patches, games needed updates, some games needed downloads, DLC started to be a really big thing. You also had some games that just didn't live up to the hype when it came to actually being functional. Some games were running around 30 to 20 frames per second, where, like I said, back in the PS2, Dreamcast, Xbox and GameCube era, a lot of those games were like coming out at 480i, 480p at 60 frames per second. You had very high um very high efficiency when it came to frames per second, even though a lot of people didn't too much embrace 480p, especially like televisions didn't really embrace 480p. If you can get 480p to actually look good on a particular display, they look amazing. Like to this day, like original Xbox games hold up very well to this day. Some PS2 games look really good. Like for instance, I've been playing Doom 3 natively on my original Xbox, and it looks really good. Not do I when I say they look better than like my PS5 back here or my Xbox Series. No, it don't look that good, but they look really good to the point where they're very solid on the eyes. It looks very good when you're watching. You're not looking at an ugly video game. And a lot of these games look very smooth on the 6th generation. And I think, to be honest, when you look at everything now, I think everything held up pretty well in the 7th generation when you had the 360, PS3, even the Wii U. Even the Wii. You still had games hold up pretty well, which I think the 7th generation was still a really good generation. But you start to see things start to fall off after that. Yes, games do look great on the PS4. Games look great on the PS5. Games look great on the Xbox Series and in the PS5 and all and everything, even on the Switch. But I don't think we're getting the quality of games that we got back. I don't think we're getting the quality of games that we had back in the PS2, Xbox, and GameCube and Dreamcast era. You can put a game on right now for the Dreamcast. You can put a Dreamcast game out right now, and the game looks phenomenal. I don't know what it is about the aesthetics of a Dreamcast game, but you can put a Dreamcast game out and play it, and you would think that it would still look just as good as some current generation games. What do you mean? Whoa, wait a minute. Yo. Absolutely. Joe, where you been? I haven't seen Joe in about a year or two. Good to see you around, bro. What you mean absolutely not? Explain. What you mean? What do you mean? But I just feel like things just kind of went. Yeah, I was wondering what you mean. You agree with me, but yeah, but I was just wondering what you meant. But I was just saying, I just don't understand, like, even with my PlayStation 5 back here, and I know we're getting on a different topic, which I don't care. I think I pretty much talked about Xbox 360 recompilation, so I already went through that. I feel like even though I have my PS5 right here behind me, I have the Xbox Series, which is right there, right on the other side. I still find myself going back to play my original Xbox. I still see myself playing my PlayStation 2. I still see myself playing 6th generation stuff. And in some cases, even 7th generation stuff. I totally agree. And the games that I'm playing on my PlayStation 5, the games that I'm playing on my Xbox Series are games that could have came out on the PS3. Games that could have came out on the Xbox 360. Like I was playing Gravel the other day, which is basically a racing game. I was playing that. You know what I'm saying? That game is just another racing game that could have been on the PS3. I was playing, I did a video the other day about that game, Rogue Flight. Rogue Flight is a game that that game could have played on the GameCube. It's like a Star Fox knockoff, but it's a phenomenal game. You was playing Shaolin Monks. Like, look, that's what I'm saying. And that's another game that needs to be re-released. Shaolin Monks need to be re-released like yesterday. Prior to the PS4, Xbox One, we had complete. I just said, like, before you walked in the door, Joe, I just said that, like, PS4, Xbox One was like the beginning of the end when things started to fall off. 6th generation, when the original Xbox, PS2, GameCube, you had complete games. Even with the PS3, Xbox 360, some games needed patches, but for the most part, like 95 or 90% of the games, they already had games that you could actually play and don't have to worry about a patch. This is one of the reasons why. This is why this is going on right now. This is exactly why this is a thing. This is why this is a thing. This right here, what you see on the screen, right? This is why this is a thing. Because games from the PS4 and Xbox One, and not to knock them and say that they're all terrible, there are some great PS4, Xbox One games. There are some good games on the PS5 and Xbox Series. But there's no doubt when the games came out on the PS3 and the 360, those games, you know, you had a good experience. That was still a time, like I was saying earlier, where companies was able to be creative. They had a chance to be creative. They were still able to put games out like that. So that's why a lot of people are recompiling a lot of 360 games right now. They'll put them on their PC because they'd rather play these games than whatever is coming out on the PS5 right now. And it's a shame. It shouldn't be that way. You know, what number did you get? What number you get? See, I told you could do it. What I told you? Boy, you a mess.
Right, I got that toy too, bro.
Crazy how Naughty Dog fumbled Factions 2. I'm going to tell you why. Let me tell you how that happened. Why I think that happened. The problem with Factions 2, the reason why that fumbled, because the company got greedy. They couldn't really monetize it the way they wanted to. It's not the fact that they couldn't get it to run. You got to understand, a lot of these live service games, they can get them to run like right now. They can get them to run today. Any of them. That's not the problem. The problem is they want to make money off of this stuff. And they kept waiting. They wanted to see if they can get, Last of Us 2 to be a thing. And they went to the drawing board and say, how much can we make off of this being a live service? They found out they couldn't make that much. They scrapped it all together. It's not the fact that they couldn't get it to run. I mean, that getting games to run on consoles or PCs today is nothing. You can get a game to run if you really want to do it. But the problem with that is they want to make money off of it. What's wrong, son? All right, go put it in the case. You be careful, okay? All right. Yeah, do that. There you go. But this is the thing. This is a problem with a lot of live service stuff. And it goes back to what I was saying. Go back to the PS3 days. I don't know if you guys were around. I mean, I'm pretty sure you was around playing video games. Do y'all remember Uncharted 2 online? Uncharted 2 online was absolutely phenomenal. Uncharted 2 was a game that was absolutely amazing. I'm not an online gamer, but I played Uncharted 2 online like religiously. Between that and Battlefield 4 is probably the only two games on Insurgency. Those the three games I actually played online and had a blast with. Mag as well. But you don't like how they delist games? Man, that's a whole nother topic I can get into. It's really depressing. But what I was saying, oh yeah, Uncharted 2, they didn't try to nickel and dime you with live service stuff. They didn't try to monetize everything. You went on, you played, you got to like level 70 or something like that, and you were good. They didn't try to sell you the golden guns or the golden AK-47 or the golden pistol or the golden, they had like golden guns that was in the game, and they were like really cool, but you had to earn it. You had to go through the process of leveling up to get that. Uncharted 3 online was okay, but I think Uncharted 2 online was the game. Nowadays, you got to make money off of this stuff. If they don't see a return on investment, they're not going to greenlight this stuff. And it's really unfortunate that that's just the way it is now. So they didn't necessarily fumble it. They just got greedy because they can get factions to run like right now. They can get any game to run on any of these consoles. It wasn't a technical issue. They just basically want to make money. And that's another problem with this generation compared to the other generations we were just talking about. The 360, PS3, they nickeling down a little bit, but it wasn't not even close as bad as it is now. But it got to that point to where they basically got greedy. And that was that to me, I still think is the beginning of the end for a lot of games. But at the same time, I did a video the other day where we talked about how many people are still playing live service games. So a lot of people still playing live service games. And that's why these companies still make these games, because of that. And I think that's the big problem when it comes to gaming in general. They try to nickel and dime everything. They want your money more than just trying to entertain you. They can care less about, are you entertained? They want you to stay on these products so they can constantly get money out your pocket. And when they can't do that, what happens is they just cancel the games altogether. There's a lot of other. Before I get out of here, because it's almost to an hour, let me see. You got it?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, I was missing it, but the game was behind me the whole time.
Hold on one second. This is on Reddit. Huh? That was 2 months ago. Okay, I'm not going through that. That's not. Well, anyway, there's a lot of games that are being shut down, or games that are not even coming out because of the live service not making any games, or whatever the case may be. So that's just the problem with that in general. Why these games aren't necessarily being put out there is because of the money. You asked me what system I play on? Look behind me, man. Look behind me, and you asked me what system I play on. Just look behind me. It tells you right there. It tells you right there. I play a little bit of everything. But I just feel at the end of the day, man, it is I didn't mean to do that. Hold on. Okay, there we go. It just at the end of the day, I look at everything the way it is. I feel that this recompilation of Xbox 360 games, I think this is going to be a pretty big deal going forward. I'm interested to see what else they're going to put out there as a PC port. They already did Sonic Unleashed, which is a very underrated game, which I think that people should try if you haven't already. Sonic Unleashed is I think you could play it on the Xbox Series. I think it's you can play it on Xbox Series.
Wait, what? This is the chocolate one. Why would they make
Yeah, you can play this. Yeah, you can play this on Xbox Series X. If you have the means of doing it, do it. Sonic Unleashed is pretty cool. It's kind of like Sonic meets God of War. You know, it's kind of like Sonic meets God of War. He has like these powers where he turns to a werehog instead of a werewolf. You call it werehog, and and he basically turns into a werewolf, and he has his hack and slash moves like God of War, like Kratos. And I think it's pretty cool. It's very underrated, and I don't understand why people don't play it as much as they should. You know, I bought it not too long ago because my son wanted it, and he necessarily didn't really want to get into it, and I ended up playing it, and it's pretty cool. And it runs at 60 frames per second on the Xbox Series. I didn't know that. I really didn't know that. I mean, because I only played it on the 360. I never really put it in my Xbox Series to try it. I may have to do that. Pretty neat, pretty neat, pretty neat. But yeah, I'm getting close to an hour. Anybody got any other questions before I go? I did say I was gonna stay on here for 45 minutes, but we're a little over now, so I'll push it to an hour. If anybody got any other questions, y'all let me know. If not, I definitely will be back tomorrow, where I'm going to be playing. I'm debating if I'm going to be playing Doom 3, Resurrection of Evil. That is a game that I've been playing for the past couple of days. You can check out the live streams. I got it in the playlist section of the channel. Also, I have a itch to play Rogue Flight again. I played Rogue Flight last week. I ended up completing the game, but there's like different stories to the game where you could go in and play different scenarios. I think the developer told me it's like 4 different scenarios that you can complete the game. So I've done the first, well, I did one of the stories, and I want to see how the other ones play out. It's a really good game as well, Rogue Flight. Shout out to the people that was in the chat the other day. They recommended that game to me. I highly came away impressed. So that was really cool. So let me see. I think that's pretty much it. Nobody has any other questions? That's cool. No big deal. Like I said, I'll recap real quick. Xbox 360 Recompilation is basically a tool where you can take an Xbox 360 game and make it into executable to play on your PC. That is really awesome. So a lot of people are getting into the business of taking a lot of delisted games that were on the 360 from the Xbox 360 store and turning those into Xbox on PC ports. And we went through the whole list of what games could be a PC port that people may decide to try. But I do feel that this is a tool that we're going to see that actually works out in the long run. And I'm really interested to see what other games they're going to put out there. Also, we talked about 6th and 7th in current generation games. And we also talked about how games back then was a little bit better. Shout out to Joe Numbers and Sir Bishop. Games today are just not the way they used to be. This just tells you by me still playing Doom 3 on my original Xbox and playing that game on on live stream. Rogue Flight is a game that's very similar to Star Fox and another game called Crimson Clover, and that game is very good. You know, it's really cool that we have these games out now that are just, in my opinion, just not up to par. It kind of sucks. But I'm glad that we are in a situation that we could take these games, these older games, the games that I have behind me, the consoles that I got right here, that let's see if you guys can see them. Down here, you see my Dreamcast right here. I got the PlayStation 2 next to that. I have all my other consoles down here, and I can go back and play them. Joe Numbers, thankful to have retro consoles because the newer consoles, I guess that's what he meant to say, newer consoles aren't it. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I do like playing the PlayStation 5. I do like playing the Xbox Series. But to me, it just doesn't capture it doesn't capture me like the other consoles did back in the day. I can go back and play my older consoles and still have a phenomenal time. But when I go back and play like the PlayStation 5, I just don't get that feeling. I can go play the PlayStation 3 and have a great time. But when I go back and play my Xbox Series X, I don't have that same feeling. I guess the uniqueness or the immersion or the charm of the newer consoles is just not where the older ones are. It's something really special about cutting on that Dreamcast and playing that game. It's something really special to me to play Doom 3 on my original Xbox and play a live stream where Doom 3 can be played on the PS3. It can be played on the Xbox 360. You could play it on the Xbox Series X. You could play it on the PC. But it's just something about playing that game on the original Xbox. How many you got on that one? I don't see how much is that. 16? 13?
Yeah, I told you it's so slow.
You gotta get some better muscle memory in your fingers, that's all. You'll get it as you get older. Just keep playing the games. You'll get muscle memory. You can press those buttons faster. But you just don't get that. It just doesn't feel the same anymore. It just don't. It's like this. Oh, you doing that? Or you pressing it like that?
No, you're supposed to press it with your thumb, both of them.
Oh. Well, what you gotta do, you gotta put your thumb in the middle and press it really fast just one time. Yeah. Yeah, just use your thumb. Don't move your hand, just move your thumb.
Oh, I see. I never did that before.
Keep practicing, you'll get it. Right. But yeah, I mean, in due time, maybe one day we'll look back and look at the PS5 and PS4 and be like, hey, we look at that the same way like we look at the PS2. I'm not really sure though. I will say this though. The PlayStation 4 may get that type of feeling at some point. Because I will say this, when the PlayStation 4 came out and I was playing the PlayStation 4 throughout that console life cycle, I did feel like I kind of got that PlayStation 2 feeling playing the PS4. I did get a little bit of the PlayStation 2 nostalgia playing the PS4. Like the PS4 kind of reminded me of the PlayStation 2. The Xbox Series X, I thought that was going to give me that same feeling of the original Xbox, but not really. But maybe the PS4 down the road. So I don't know. We'll see. It is 10:45. Tomorrow's Friday. I got to get myself to bed because I got to go to work tomorrow. But I will be back doing another live stream. This little boy back here, he doesn't have to go to school tomorrow because they got a home learning day, so he gets to stay up a little bit later. But you about to go to bed in a little bit. Yeah, you about to go to bed in a little bit. You're gonna be up late. I gotta go to bed. You gotta go to bed. But yeah, I'll be back to tomorrow. I'll probably put a video up in the morning, so be on the lookout for that. And I will be live tomorrow. I'm gonna go live for a couple of hours to play some Doom 3 or play some Rogue Flight. One of the two, but we'll see. But I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Joe Numbers, thank you for coming through. Sir Bishop, Sweet Jones, thank you for coming through. Thanks to everybody who came through. Everybody who hit the like button. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Let people know what we're doing over here. And I will see you guys on the next one. Y'all have a good night. Y'all be blessed. Stay safe. Be nice to everyone. Be nice to yourself. Take care of yourself and be good to yourself and one another. All right, y'all, I'm out. Peace.